Hi everybody, Professor Benelin with this series of two short videos explaining Unit 4 discussion board. In this short video, I will just be discussing the assignment in general, and then in the second video, I will be going over the topics that you can choose to discuss in Unit 4 DB. This is the second of two important writing assignments. The first was Unit 2 discussion board. So this is your last major writing assignment of the semester. Let's make it count. Okay, so Unit 4 discussion board. There are two dates for this DB, just like there was due dates for the Unit 2 DB. This is very similar to the Unit 2 DB, by the way. Your original post is going to be due Friday, March 13th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Your response posts are going to be due March 17th, which is Tuesday, from 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, you need to choose a topic. This time there are 4 to choose from. You have to analyze a primary document just like in Unit 2 DB. Again, you have 4 topics. The first one, Ronald Reagan, his remarks on signing the Economic Recovery Tax Act of 1981 and the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1981. This is an interview with President Reagan on his economic policy. This is the Reaganomics topic. The second topic that you can choose from is the First Gulf War. This is George H.W. Bush's speech he gave in October of 1990 in front of the United Nations General Assembly. It is called the Iraqi aggression in Kuwait. So that's your second topic. Third topic, Patrick Buchanan, his address to the Republican National Convention in 1992. That is the rise of conservatism topic. And last but not least, Ronald Reagan's tear down this wall speech from June of 1987. That is the end of the Cold War topic. So all of these topics are interesting and they have a ton of information out there on them. So pick the one that you feel interests you the most. Okay, so this is delved into 4 sections. This is broken down into 4 sections where your Unit 2 DB is broken down into 3. Again, extremely similar to your Unit 2 DB. First section is the context section worth 15 points. Firstly, name the document you chose to analyze. Who's the creator of the document? When and where was this document created? That's the context section worth 15 points. The summary section worth 20 points. Write a brief summary of the source. What's the topic or issue covered within the source? What's the creator's main points about the topic? And what is one interesting thing said in the source? That's the summary section. Third section is the connections worth 10 points. How does the source connect to the Unit 4 learning material? How does it better help you understand the moment in American history? And how does it help you understand the Unit 4 learning materials, particularly in telepath? Does this source support what you already knew about the topic? If so, how? Or does this source change the way you think about the topic? If so, how? So that's the connections section worth 10 points. The last section is the difference section, the one that varies from Unit 2 DB. It's the new section. We're building on what we learned in Unit 2 DB because the connections section is similar. You just have a couple added questions to answer. And then the issue today is totally new. Identify how the issue in the document relates to American life today. You'll want to use specific examples to explain your points. In other words, how is this document still relevant today? All right. Okay, so that is what is due on March 13th. Your peer responses will be due on March 17th. And after March 17th, they will no longer be accepted. So peer responses, you need to respond to 2 of your classmates, just like you did in Unit 2 DB. The only difference is that now your responses need to be at least 100 words in length. So each of your response posts needs to be 100 words in length. And again, I love my students. You all are very supportive of one another, but you can't just leave it at, you did a great job, John. I really enjoyed reading your post. Well, that's wonderful and completely supportive. You need to delve more into it than that. You need to tailor your post to your classmates' post, and you need to answer the following questions. What did you learn from your classmates' post? Are there connections between their document and the unit materials that they did not mention? I like that question, thinking outside the box. Are there connections between what you learned from your source and what you learned about their source? And lastly, what clarification do you need regarding the post? So if you answer those questions and you tailor your post to your classmates' post, you will have no problem meeting the 100-word requirement and the requirements for your peer responses. Okay, so all sources used to complete this project should be cited using APA format, both in-text citations and references. The C2 Undergraduate Writing Style Guide is awesome. One of my first announcements in this class, I have an announcement on how to access it. Okay, for assistance with your assignments, you can reference your text, web sources, all the course materials, but all the research material is wonderful as well. Our library, our C2 online library, is phenomenal, and the librarians are awesome. Please use that resource. It's wonderful, and you're never going to have to guess that the resource is a good resource and an appropriate resource if you get it from our library. And also, the Writing Center is fabulous if you need help with APA, in-text citation, any of that. It's wonderful. So you're paying tuition here at CTU. Use those two wonderful resources, please. Okay, so this is my grading criteria sheet. This is what I will be using to grade your Unit 4 DB. And I apologize for it being so little. I couldn't help it. I need to get it on the slide. But anyway, the first section, context. Student identifies the creator, including a brief description. Student identifies when and where the document was created. My comments, how many points out of 15? Summary. Student fully summarized the document, identifying the main topic, the main points, and at least one interesting detail. My comments, how many points out of 20? Connection. Student identified connection between the primary source and unit learning material. Student included discussion of how the source expanded or changed your previous knowledge. My comments, how many points out of 10? The issue today. Student identifies how the issue in the document relates to American life today. Student evaluates the ways in which the issue has evolved. Student uses specific examples to explain their points. My comments, how many points out of 10? Peer responses. Student responds to at least 2 of their peers. You respond with a 100-word response. By March 17th, you will get the 10 points. Response content. Peer responses add new depth and insight to the current conversation and encourages further conversation. Encourages further conversation, I feel, is key. My comments, how many points out of 5? Academic writing. Student uses proper spelling, punctuation, grammar to write clearly and effectively. References, if provided, are in APA format. My comments, how many points out of 5? I totaled it up and put it over 75. So that is the grading criteria sheet. Okay, the pertinent information for this, again, broken down into 2 due dates, just like Unit 2 DB was. Firstly, your original post is due March 13th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Friday, March 13th. Your response posts are due Tuesday, March 17th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as always, you can contact me by emailing me, lbenelou@coloradotech.edu, or message me through the CTU Messenger app, or portion of the app. Also, great time to do any of this is during my office hours, Mondays from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, that is it for the first short video. I will be posting the second video shortly, where I will be discussing the topics that you can choose. All right, see you then.